Yo, welcome back. I'm Mike. So with the draft coming up, NFL draft, right? Um, I'm going to speak about the Giants. So if you're not a football fan, if you're not a Giants fan, I totally understand if you just, turn this off right now. But if you are a football fan, you might want to listen to what I got to say. And what I have to say is, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about how the Giants need to take this kid Simmons from Clemson, a linebacker. He can also play safety. Um, he can also probably be an edge rusher. Dude's multifaceted. He's a weapon on defense. I understand this. If you need a defensive player, this dude is a gem. I mean, instant impact player. No doubting this. That's not going to score points. It's not going to protect a young, in his second year quarterback who's going to be learning a new offense again in his second offense in 2 years, right? And it's not going to open holes for the best running back in football, who really can only do his thing if he gets to the second level of the football field, which he can't do if there's no holes. This happened last year. It was evident. Like, yes, some of it was due to the injury. And once he was healthy, he showed, like, against, like, the Eagles and whatnot, that he doesn't quite need holes all the time to do what he can do. But when you get him to the second level, there's nobody better. And we didn't get him there nearly enough. So, to me, the only option, and forget even trading back. I'm so sick of hearing people say, "Oh, I really, really hope that Gettleman trades back to, like, 9 or 10 or whatever, and accumulates draft picks. Like, that's what we should do." Like, no, 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 no. There is literally one. Count them on my finger. How many fingers am I holding up? Oh, that's right, one. There is one benefit to sucking as bad as the Giants have sucked. That's guaranteeing a top 10, and in our case, top 5 pick in the draft, where you are guaranteed, well, almost guaranteed, 99% guaranteed to get an instant starter impact player right off the bat. Someone who can be a backbone, um, to your team. Um, Trading out of that, especially like when you need someone like top tier that you can guarantee like fixing a weakness on your team by staying put. Like there's a tackle, Andrew Thomas. In my opinion, um, easily the best tackle prospect I've seen since Tyron Smith. Like, this kid is unbelievable. Not just in the run game, but pass as well. Like, he pass protects like a beast. He's got great hand technique, got good lateral quickness. Um, Really mean. I like the meanness in him. Something that we've lacked on the line since '07. Um, his run blocking technique. I mean, like, he just rolls over dudes, which is what we need for guys like Saquon. Um, it all starts in the trenches, and like if you trade to like 10, he's not gonna be there. He's not. A team like let me see who's picking like someone like Denver will probably grab him. Like jump on him. There's a few teams um, off the top of my head that I could think of that would definitely, like, he's not lasting to 10. He's not. There's no way. They would have to be absolutely insane to pass up on him Um, a team like Tampa might even want to, grab him. Yeah, like people say they might draft a quarterback, but their offensive line is trash too. So to trade back to 10, and not only that, but I don't want us to take him, but if you are in on Simmons, if you want that defensive impact player, the impact players like Simmons, gone by 10. You might be able to get Grant Delpit. Maybe. If you would have to be really lucky, possible, to get someone like Delpit. Other than that, like, yeah, you could get good players. Like, don't get me wrong, this is the deepest draft I've ever seen. It's stacked at every position, really. Um, Especially receiver. Like, receiver is the best class I've seen ever. Ever. In terms of, like, talent and potential. Um, like, yeah, you're going to get a good player at around 10 or outside of 10. Sure. I'm not disputing that. But there's a difference between a good player or a very good player, even a great player, and a franchise player. A player that for the next decade could literally like be a linchpin of your team. You're not gonna get that. 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get that if you trade the 10 or past 10. So in my view, there's only one clear option. You take Andrew Thomas. You put him at left tackle. You move Solder to the right tackle. Hope to God that he doesn't suck nearly as bad as he does at left. Um, Hell, maybe sign Jack Conklin at right tackle before the draft, and problem solved. You don't have to deal. He could be a really expensive backup. Um, Either way, if the quarterback isn't getting drilled full speed every like time he drops back to pass, the fumbles are gonna be a lot less. He's gonna feel a lot more confident throwing the ball. Saquon's gonna have a lot bigger holes to run through. They score more points. What wins games? Not defense. No, that's a myth. Points win games. You have to have more points than your opponent. You don't score points, you're not winning. Don't care how good your defense is. The offenses in this day and age of the NFL are pretty much all prolific enough to score more than like 7 to 10 points. Um, and if you don't fix the offensive line of the Giants, you're gonna get outscored. Period. Period. End of story. Doesn't matter how good your defense is, and one guy is not gonna fix our defense. Like, we still need an edge rusher to go along with if we re-sign Golden. Um, because Jimenez is still raw. He's good, but he's still like a year or two away. Um, they don't use Lorenzo Carter effectively at all. Like, had him doing the wrong thing for the past 2 seasons. We need probably 2 linebackers, and we need a safety to go along with Peppers. So, to think that getting the Simmons kid is going to fix our defense, like, no. Yeah, it'll make it better. No doubt about that. It'll make it better. But he's not going to score points for us. And that's what we need. We need our young quarterback protected so he's not laying on the ground constantly. Eli will tell you about that, what it's like to be constantly knocked to the ground every other play. And it's not going to help Saquon in his prime flourish. These are the years that they can't be wasting with him. Running backs only have so long in the NFL before they start to break down. You don't get a line in front of him, you've wasted a generational talent. I mean, even a guy like Barry Sanders, you look at his career would have been a lot better if he had had a prime offensive line ahead of him. but most of his runs came where dudes were in the backfield and he had to do some shucking and jiving, making guys miss, um, as Barry was wont to do. Uh, just imagine if he had holes to go through, what he could have done, what he could have been. He was wasted. Barry Sanders was wasted. I don't want the same to happen to Barkley. So yeah, Andrew Thomas is the pick. Clear cut, no argument, unless you want to keep picking in the top 5 draft picks every year. Yeah, if we could go, oh my God, what's his name? Worf. I can't think of his name, but he's from Iowa. The tackle from Iowa, very good. I wouldn't be mad at that pick if we took him instead. I don't think anyone is as good as Andrew Thomas in this tackle draft. I think he's a clear cut number 1. But if we were to take him, if we were to take Wills from Alabama, fine. Like, I won't be mad because it's still a position we need to take. But if we take anything other than offensive tackle with that first pick, also don't grab Mekhi Becton. I love Mekhi Becton. Huge upside with this kid. I wouldn't take him anywhere near the top 10. I wouldn't take him in the top 15. He's very raw. I would take him early second. Sure. Like, if he's there and we want to grab him, make him a right tackle, I'm all for it. Stay away from him with our first pick. Not ready. He's not ready yet. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. That's my rant on the Giants, what they should do in the draft. I do hope that if we do go that route, I think at some point in the draft, because it's so deep at receiver, we need to get a big-bodied guy like a T. Higgins or someone who can be a weapon in the red zone for the young quarterback. He can toss it up on the fade route. Like, that was Eli's bread and butter for so long with Plaxico, and it worked until he shot himself in the leg. And was never quite the same after for Eli because he never had that big-bodied target. We were always giving him the small, quick guys like Cruz. Last time we were in the playoffs and won a Super Bowl, it was because we had Akeem Nicks, who was a big-bodied receiver that could go up and get it. We haven't had that since. We had that trash Odell Beckham, most overrated piece of you-know-what out there. And we had Victor Cruz, who was great, but he was great as a slot receiver. Steve Smith, where is he even now? He as soon as he left the Giants, became a bum, just like Odell, just like Nicks, just like pretty much every Giants receiver in the last decade. So yeah, we need that. We need a big-bodied weapon. I hope we get that. We don't need corner. Stop saying corner. I'm not even going to go into that. We don't need corner. We got young corners. Baker killed it. Was in the top 10 ranked in the last 6 games of the season across the entire NFL. Stop it with the corner. No. All right, that's it. So that's my rant. Remember to treat us the way you want to be treated. I love you guys.